Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel for a brand new video, and this one is the 35k Q&A, and I just want to start off by saying a huge thank you to all of you. I know I've been diversifying my content lately, but you guys have still been showing a lot of support, so I really appreciate that, and thank you for 35,000 subscribers. It's a huge milestone and we're well on our way to 40k. So with that said guys, I'm going to jump straight into it, and I'm just going to read off the questions. I'm not going to worry about editing this too much, and I'm just going to have some gameplay going in the background. So starting off with Future JTC 101, he says, do you like the sequels and why? Yes, I do like the sequels in their own way, and no, I don't think they're better than the prequels or the original trilogy, but if I had to rank them in order, it would probably be The Force Awakens first, then The Rise of Skywalker, and then The Last Jedi in third place. So Starmaster says, can you tell me how to grow on YouTube? Consistent uploads, replying to every single comment, and trying to make your content as unique as possible. Sheev says, my question is, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I did, but not from a Jedi. Anonymous says, being completely honest, do you think Battlefront 3 will ever happen? And when do you think it will come out? If it does come out, it probably won't happen for a little while. I don't see it happening in the next couple of years, and there's been no talk about it. So not really sure, but I really hope we do get one at some point. Kevin and Alvin Skywalker says, what is your favorite hero on Battlefront 2? And I'll answer this the same way I always answer it. Han Solo, hands down, super easy. First member questions. Dude says, are you going to check out Far Cry 6? And are you going to check out Doom Eternal or Doom even if you need someone to send you them? I don't think I'll check out Doom really. It doesn't interest me all that much. Far Cry, I've never really played any of the other ones just because I prefer like first person shooters and multiplayer games, but I might check it out at some point, but I think probably not. Ashton says, what is your favorite movie of all time? No Star Wars movies. The Dark Knight, definitely my favorite movie outside of Star Wars. Depression Plays says, what's your thoughts on Halo? Used to love it as a kid, haven't played any of the recent ones, kind of got away from it when I started playing Star Wars games, and I think they're much better than Halo. SPC Bird says, what has been the most rewarding part of your channel? Probably building a community. I feel like I can rely on you guys. When things go south in my actual life, I can just jump on stream and see so much support from you guys. Recruit says, what other games do you play? Currently, I'm absolutely loving Hyperscape, and you guys will start to see more of that on the channel. Play a lot of Apex Legends as well, a little bit of Warzone here and there, and a tiny little bit of Overwatch. But other than that, Star Wars games mainly, with a bit of Battle Royale mixed in there as well. Kaiser says, what's your favorite color? It is red. Brandon says, are you excited for Star Wars The Bad Batch? I've only seen like the little bits that we've got floating around Twitter and stuff. I think it'll be pretty cool, but it's hard to say until you actually see it. If it's an animated series, I feel like it's just going to be an extension of the Clone Wars series, which will still be cool, but yeah, I'm not getting super excited for it until I actually see it. Charlie says, what is your favorite game of all time? Need for Speed Most Wanted, the PlayStation 2 version from 2005, I think it was. That is probably the game I've played the most out of any game ever, and it's still to this day probably my favorite game. Joseph says, what is your best channel moment? Best channel moment, easily the Count Dooku stream where we hit like 2,500 viewers at one point. That was absolutely nuts. I never imagined anything like that happening. Lego Stop Motion says, love the channel. My question is, what is your favorite line in movie history? Ooh, that's a hard one. It's as corny as it sounds, like, may the force be with you always. I know I use that on my outro to my videos all the time, but it just kind of gives you like that feeling of, you know, everything's going to be okay. And I think that's a really cool line. So it's super corny, but yeah, that's probably it. Martin says, could you do a video for the top class on Battlefront 2? Potentially, I could do it in the future. Might be something I look to do for like a beginner's guide or something like that. So yeah, definitely. Darth Windu says, how are you? Congrats on 35k. I'm doing good, doing good. Few things didn't go my way in the last week or two in my actual life, but things are starting to pick up now, which is really good. Chris says, what is my name? My name is Dylan. I was going to say my name's Jeff, but yeah, Dylan is my actual name. Do you think they'll add more ships to squadrons like B-Wings, TIE Defenders, and TIE Strikers from Cool Triplets? It's hard to say. There's probably not going to be any post-launch content, and they haven't said that there will be at this stage, so I don't think we will. The Darkest Light says, what is something that YouTube or Twitch has changed about you that was different than before you started YouTube and Twitch? I think I'm probably a more confident speaker now. Like, I know when I first started out on YouTube, it was very hard for me to express myself in certain ways and record things in a smooth transition. So I think that's something I've definitely improved on. Darth Mandalore says, why did you choose the name The Twisted Jedi? I think I was watching Clone Wars at the time, and it was like when they were slowly introducing Maul back into the series, and you know, obviously he said he's not a Sith anymore and he was kind of crazy, and I think that's where it kind of came from, and the logo obviously shows that as well. So Drunk Lily says, who did I look up to as a kid? A lot of my early days spent playing basketball, so a lot of basketball players were probably my main inspiration. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, those sort of guys were always a huge inspiration to me. And then obviously a few YouTubers after that when I started getting into YouTube. But yeah, I think it was mainly sports heroes when I was younger. Antonio says, what is your favorite game making company? It's hard not to say EA right now because Battlefront 2 is definitely one of my all-time favorite games and it's done so much for me. Some of you guys are probably going to say I'm a shill or whatever. Go for it. Just add to my comments and pretty much do what everyone else does. But I really do love Battlefront 2, so that's probably my answer. Night Reaper says, what is your favorite reinforcement for each team? I don't know if I can name one for each team, but definitely by far my favorite reinforcement in the game is the BX Commando droid. Dr. Average says, if you could add any Star Wars character to Battlefront 2, which character would you choose? Ahsoka. That's super easy. That's always going to be my answer to that question because I think we should have got it. Owen says, what do you think the next Star Wars series on Disney Plus could be? I mean, obviously we've still got the Cassian Andor series coming at some point, so that, and then after that I'd love to see like a Knights of the Old Republic sort of era, Sith War type series. I think that would be really cool. The Cool Kid Who Games says, what inspired you to start YouTube and cover Battlefront 2? I loved Battlefront 2015 and I saw some people doing like some videos for that were doing quite well and thought I'd give it a shot. So that was pretty much how it started. Raj says, what's your favorite channel meme / stream moment? I've already sort of answered my favorite stream moment, but in terms of memes, it's hard to say. There's been so many over the years. I probably couldn't pick just one. Flat Crab says, what has the journey to 35k been like? It's been a grind, there's been a lot of up and downs, and yeah, it's definitely a journey I would not regret, and I love every minute of it. Even the downside to it when it has been going slow has always still been enjoyable, and you guys have always shown support. So Zuko says, how old am I? I am 25. Nicholas says, if DICE could have added just one more thing before ending support, what would you have chosen? Still, again, Ahsoka, probably. Ahsoka and Ventress would have been great additions to the game. Ninja Warrior says, can you do hero concepts if there was to be a Battlefront 3? Definitely something I could look to do in the future content. Something I do want to dive into is potential concepts for games. But yeah, I'll look to do that as well. Quinn says, who is your favorite hero for Crate and why? On the dark side for Crate, I would probably go with Vader. On the light side, it would probably be Finn, to be honest. He's really good on Crate. Hello there says, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say congratulations, say hello there, and to say greetings from Romania. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Depression Play says, are you excited for Halo Infinite? What has your Halo journey been? What games have you played? There's a gameplay trailer dropping July 23. Yeah, I played a lot of high school, like in high school I used to play a lot of Halo, but you know, since then, like the newer games, probably since Xbox One came out, I haven't played any. I don't think I really played any on Xbox 360 either. It was more just like the original Halo 1 and 2. So Josiah says, what is your favorite Star Wars era? The original trilogy. Do I have any pets? Yes, I own a dog and my parents own 3 cats where they live. So yeah, the dog's mine, cats are theirs, but that answers that question. Jack says, would you rather only be able to watch one season of Clone Wars of your choice or all the Mandalorian episodes? If Clone Wars, what season? That's really tough. Honestly, I feel like for pure like length, all of the Mandalorian episodes maybe, just because over the course of the lifespan of the Mandalorian, I feel like I'd get more out of that than watching just one season of Clone Wars, and yeah, I think that would be better. Josh says, how does it feel to be the undisputed Duke of the Gulag? Dude, I suck in the Gulag, and especially now that there's snipers in there. I haven't played it recently, but I think it's still snipers, and I'm terrible in the Gulag, but you know, it's still fun. I still enjoy it. Noah says, has your life been harder, easier, or the same as normal since the corona outbreak? It's definitely been harder. There are a lot of challenges I've had to face. Luckily, I've stayed healthy through the whole thing, but there's just been a few other challenges outside of that. Majestic says, what are your hopes for Squadrons? I mean, I'm not expecting too much. I know it's only a small game and I don't think we're getting any post-launch content, so I just hope it'll be enough to keep the channel going and keep you guys entertained with the new Star Wars game until something else comes along. Lucas says, do I do a sport? I used to play tons of basketball. That was my main sport when I was younger. Who would win in a fight? Kylo Ren or Anakin? Anakin, easy. What Star Wars game do you want to see next? Battlefront 3 is the easy answer, but I think Jedi Fallen Order 2 is probably a bit more likely. But yeah, if I had to choose one, it would be a Battlefront 3. The Apprentice says, why did you want to continue YouTube to the point that you did? It couldn't have been easy the entire time. It hasn't been easy. It's been a long journey, but you know, if you want to be successful in anything, you've got to fight through the harder times and push through it. And I think I've done a really good job to get to where I am, and I still enjoy it. So that's why I've done it up until this point. The Beach Hoy says, what is your favorite moment you've had with Star Wars? Probably getting flown out to EA headquarters in Stockholm and testing some stuff for Battlefront 2, which was really cool. Ishan says, if you could add 3 heroes and 3 villains to Battlefront 2, who would they be? Ahsoka and Ventress, Padme and Cad Bane, Mace Windu, and one more villain. Maybe Savage Opress would be pretty cool as well. Get a bit of Clone Wars action in there. Ginger Jedi says, what's your favorite skin in Battlefront 2? Probably the Shattered Grievous appearance. I think that's really cool because it's something we've never seen before. And the Reverse says, what Star Wars game are you most excited for? Probably, at this stage, out of what we know, the Fallen Order sequel would be right up the top of the list, but if we were to ever get a Battlefront 3, that would obviously take number 1. Grego Keep says, what type of Star Wars game do you think EA needs to make next? I think they need to make another shooter, man. Like, doesn't necessarily have to be Battlefront 3, but something that is in the shooting genre would be really, really good. Blockbuster says, favorite quote from Star Wars? It's pretty easy. Hello there. I think I say that more than anything else, so that's got to be my favorite quote. Jake says, hi Twisted, love your vids. Question is, what is your favorite Star Wars quote? Well, we just went through that, so that one's been answered. Shane said, if there was no Star Wars games, what would you be playing from the start of your gaming hobby to the present day? I'd obviously, like right now, I'm playing tons of Hyperscape and Apex, so those would probably be dominant on the channel. When I was younger, a lot of the Need for Speed games were really interesting, but I just don't like how they've kind of been on current console. The last one was pretty decent for a little while, but it did get a little bit boring after a while. So yeah, early Need for Speed would have been probably the way to go. Shelley says, am I the only person that loves all the movies in the Skywalker saga and its 2 spin-offs? I'm assuming you mean in terms of like all the Disney movies. I liked most of them. Like, I just think The Last Jedi is probably the worst of them for me. It was good to see it like the first time, but the more times I see it, it just gets less interesting. Whereas I think the other ones are, yeah, quite fun, even when you rewatch them multiple times. So Big Red Donkey says, if you could have one more addition added to Battlefront 2, what would it be? I mean, I've answered this. It would definitely be Ahsoka and Ventress. Crazy Canna says, do the best maps for Darth Vader and Darth Maul. That's it. I hope you choose this one. Well, it's not really a question, but I'm sure I could do the best map for Vader and Maul at some point in a video. Benson says, do the best map for each hero. Well, I've just said that I would, so there's that. Brian says, yes, beautiful. Okay. Thank you. I'm assuming you mean in regards to 35k, but thank you. Big Sammy G, would you rather play Battlefront 2 game modes with Apex Legends movement or a Battlefront 2 Hero Battle Royale? Ooh. I think a Battlefront 2 Hero Battle Royale could be really cool, but at the same time, I think they'd have a lot of trouble balancing it. So probably go with Battlefront 2 game modes with Apex Legends movement, although it's not exactly realistic to the Star Wars universe. So Battle Royale could still be cool at the same time. It's hard to choose between those two. Garlic says, Republic Commando 2 or Force Unleashed 3, which one would you rather? Force Unleashed 3, for sure. Aman Raj Singh says, how has Star Wars and gaming impacted on your life positively or negatively? Definitely positively. That's an easy one to answer. KL Productions, what's your favorite movie outside of Star Wars? I've answered this. It's The Dark Knight in the Batman trilogy. Tech Cheetah Battlefront says, what is every character you wished existed in Star Wars Battlefront 2? I mean, I'm not going to answer all of them, but again, if I had to pick one, it would be Ahsoka. King James, if you could change one thing that pisses you off in Battlefront 2, what would you change? The Grievous bug at this stage with his claw rush, like destroying people in one use. It's probably the easiest answer. Cal says, how did you come up with the name The Twisted Jedi? We've been through this, so hopefully I've already answered that. Easy Snips says, why don't you now play a variety of games to increase your sub and view count? Well, I have been, as you guys will see on the channel. Oliver says, who is your favorite Star Wars character, Legends or canon? Favorite character would be Obi-Wan, followed closely by Maul and Ahsoka. Jabba the Chunk says, favorite TV show? Can't be Star Wars related. Probably How I Met Your Mother. It's just super chill and funny and it's good to watch. Kurt says, did you ever think that you would do well on Twitch? And what would you like to see in Battlefront 3 if there is one? I think the Twitch is something that's going to be a little bit of a slower growth, but I definitely am excited to delve deeper into it in the future. And what would you like to see in Battlefront 3 if there is one? Much more heroes. Definitely a lot more heroes would be fun. The Forge says, worst heroes / villains in your opinion? Probably Phasma, and I don't really like using BB-8 very much. So yeah, probably those two, or maybe BB-90 instead of Phasma. I don't know. They're both pretty bad and I suck with them, so it doesn't help. Elemental Music says, how are you finding quarantine? Right now, it's a bit shit. With some other stuff going on, but you know, I'll get past that. I'm obviously still healthy, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, there are just some other things that are affecting my present life. Nova says, how's your day going? Today's been a good day. I'm chilling, recording this, then I'm working on a Hyperscape video afterwards, and yeah, there's a lot going on. James Rice says, can you do a video doing the best map for each heroes, like the best maps for Leia? I think I've already done one for the best map for each hero, but it's something I could potentially do in the future again for the newer players that have joined the game. And it looks like that's pretty much all the questions, guys. If I did miss yours, I do apologize. Hopefully you guys stuck around and watched the video and I got to most of the questions. Like I said, if I did miss them, it's probably that I recorded this at the time it hadn't been posted yet, and you guys just missed out. But make sure to check out the next one. I'll have another Q&A at 40k, and thank you guys again so much for 35,000 subscribers. With all that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you in the next one, and may the force be with you always.
The Sith are all powerful.